All right, here we are. Oh yeah, we're clapping.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Like and subscribe.
Click the link down below.
Hey, Nicole,
Link
video
down
or link.
below.
Yeah, a little picture pop up.
We have more videos up here.
They're gonna just pop up, right? That's how it works.
That's how I think it works.
Yeah. I'm gonna
So-
keep you on your toes, Nicole. There's gonna be flashing lights and things popping up throughout.
Welcome to Trouble Brewing.
Boom, roasted. And then the scorecard. I think Marty's at like
You have
6,
you have
7.
You have,
I have
you have
2 or 3 against me. Welcome to Trouble Brewing. I got a compliment by my friends on our name. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
They were like, "That's a clever name," and I was proud of us.
Oh, the name Trouble Brewing?
Yeah.
I thought that meant your name.
No, they just liked the name, which we're trying to get trademarked. So
It is a good name.
yeah, I
This
think
could
you and Drew came up with like 7 or 8, I think, and we kind of picked
Went back
around.
forth.
I think
Sorry.
it was actually Brewing Trouble at first, and then I think we turned it around.
We had a couple of them.
Yeah.
But that one was really one of the best. It is the best.
Okay, so
Duquesne Cook,
oh yeah,
Marty McGinley.
what was our name? The Duke of Rahm or the Duke of Roast?
Rahm. Oh no, yeah.
We'll have to go back.
I'm the king of a bit of caffeine, wasn't I?
Yeah,
Wow.
Duke of Rahm. I like it. That might be my coffee shop name.
I
Or
suppose.
Duke of Roast.
We'll talk about these later.
Yeah, I was going to bring this up. So we're going to talk about coffee, mindfulness, and superheroes.
Yeah, and I got one other surprise.
Okay, a surprise. Oh, exciting.
Keep your mic in front of you,
Yeah, see, I'm not good at this.
like that, just like that.
Okay, there we go.
Like-
Let's start with superheroes.
Okay.
We were talking about this before, and I stopped our conversation because I thought it would be interesting. But I feel like everyone growing up, especially if you were ever into like comics or like watch Saturday night TV, you had a superhero you wanted to be.
Wait a second though. When you were a kid, because when I was a kid, did you get Saturday morning cartoons?
Oh yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch. Best
Greatest
time
thing
ever.
Okay.
I wasn't allowed to watch cartoons, anything animated during the week. So Saturday morning, I woke up and it started usually at like 6
Yeah.
and
It's
would
like-
go till like 10. And then Saturday night would always have the cartoons. And I remember they would have Justice League. And back then, Justice League didn't have, like Justice League was the way to go because they were a lot more like graphic. So they would actually show blood, while like the animated Avengers was a lot more PG.
Right.
So I was a big Justice League fan growing up.
Well, Justice League was Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman.
Flash, Green Lantern. I was a big Green
Was
Lantern
it
fan.
the Wonder Twins?
I don't know, actually.
Remember that?
That was before me.
Yeah, that was
There-
really
uh-huh.
bad.
That was before me. But I was saying my superhero was Wolverine. I like loved, because that's when the X-Men movie came out, was when I was growing up. So Wolverine and Hugh Jackman were like my,
So like still?
oh yeah, still. So when Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, I'm gonna be there. So apologies, Kelly, but you're getting dragged along.
It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, but we have like, I took her to see the Mario movie and she was not a fan. That did not amuse her.
It was so fun.
Yeah, but she's like
not into that.
Yeah, it's kind of same thing. She did like the Guardians of the Galaxy because that's funny. She did not love the new Thor movie, which I can kind of get. It was a little over the top.
I pictured Kelly, and Kelly, if you're watching, if I'm wrong, you can write me. I picture you more like a Downton Abbey kind of person.
Like she loves
Like-
like action comedies.
Oh, does she really?
Yeah, she loves action comedies. So like the Hitman Bodyguard.
Have you seen Nobody?
No.
Nobody is like it's very comical. These cookies.
Cookies.
Very comical.
Can we have like a cookie? Have you ever dipped a cookie in like your coffee before?
No.
It's kind of good. I get some weird looks from it, but
No.
I'm a big like coffee or cookie and milk person. So when I get a latte,
Cookie
sometimes,
and milk, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I have.
can I have a little like
But is it
Cookie
like
and milk
Oreos?
picture?
Like Oreos to me?
I'll do anything.
Okay. But no, watch Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody's like that. You guys both love it. It's like I took my daughter, we took her to in the theater. She's like, "Oh, great, another guy movie where they just
She liked
beat up
it?
other guys." absolutely loved it. She's seen it 4 times.
Your superhero. You're getting off topic.
So my superhero, and it's still this way, and people are going to probably make fun of me because of it, is Captain America. Because he's just always there. Like even in the Marvel movies, he was the guy that, like at the very end, he was the guy that strapped it on again and said, I'm going to keep fighting, I'm going to keep fighting, I'm going to keep fighting. And he just had that cool look, and he looks great in those pants.
I was Team Iron Man.
Iron Man?
But like when Captain America and Iron Man were going at it, I was Team Iron Man. Which is weird because my real life like morals kind of fit more with Captain America. But in that movie, I felt like Tony Stark was so wronged. I was so upset.
Well, he was wrong. They were both kind of, it was just stupid over one guy.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, so mine, Captain America. Although I did like the Iron Man in the comic. Captain America. And then Thor was really cool in the comics, but they suck at movies.
In the movie. I was really into Green Lantern in the comics, which is why Green Lantern Corps, I thought was such a cool like concept.
Yeah, and then the movie was horrible.
Yeah, it was really bad. Ryan Reynolds makes fun of it, which I think is funny, especially because he's come back as Deadpool, and it's great.
Okay.
Coffee.
Do
you want to? What's your surprise?
Did you know? I found this out the other day. That your coffee has ground up bugs in it.
I didn't. Is that the article you sent though? Well, so another article came. Is that the coffee that was recalled? You sent us a recall that happened with some canned coffee.
2002. No, that was a different one. This one is all about that because now our coffee's prepared a different way.
Okay.
So a lot of these bigger coffees have, they're doing mass amounts of coffee.
Yeah.
And they don't go through this process of cleaning it. Like this one here says there's been talk of dead cockroaches in coffee, but they just grind it up with the beans and you don't really know it's there.
Oh, so like the pre-ground coffee, you really don't know what's in it.
Right, because they're grinding it, you don't get to see what's in it.
I'm not going to say what brand, but there's some big ground coffee brands out there that maybe you all should be warned about that.
There's a major one that had what bug was it? There's some red bug. You know there's a red bug they use for dye colors, remember? And that was in a major brand, like huge brand's coffee. And they got beat up for it.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot of new stuff right now.
Right. You can go look it up. That brand, and you would be shocked.
I had somebody send me an article the other day, and it was about brands talking about how there's toxins and mold in your coffee and how it upsets your stomach. And they were like, did you know this? And it was somebody that knows I work with Rahm Roast. And I was like, yes, like this is gaining attention. This is a thing. It is now coming out that like over half of coffees, that is an issue. And try Rahm Roast.
It just goes back to what
Rahm Roast
says is people know us, but they don't know what we do.
I know.
Like, who would ask you that?
Nobody, everyone's just like, even my friends, they're like, you're the coffee guy. Like, we know you love coffee.
Yeah.
But they don't even, and I've given them Rahm Roast. So they drink Rahm Roast and they're like, oh, it's good. But they still don't understand the mission. So Rahm Roast, picture.
Yeah,
like bags.
Right here, bags.
Yeah. Duquesne's friends, try Rahm Roast. Can like just really call out my friends.
I hope she does put the superhero above us.
Oh yeah. I want our superheroes above us. That is crazy.
Isn't that weird though?
I mean, there's so much stuff coming up about coffee now. I feel like that's the next thing where people are starting to realize the like intricacies of coffee because it's so big and like the issues that are in the industry. I feel like more people are finding out why fair trade is important and how, not all coffee is equal. It's not there yet.
But I also think it's because I think people are coming to the knowledge of there's got to be better coffee out there. I think it was just this idea, like even you go back into the 60s and the 40s and stuff, and it was just coffee, and it was caffeine, it was coffee. And then people assume that this is what, I'm only drinking this because of the caffeine.
Yeah.
And now you're getting to this point where you realize everything you put in your body is important.
Mm-hmm.
So now people are like, well, wait a second here. Is there organic coffee? Is this coffee better? And then so like we can take our coffee, we can explain to people like, yeah, this coffee is mold free. This coffee has great benefits for you.
Well, and there's this idea too. I feel like at one point the thought was like, coffee is coffee's organic. It's a plant.
Yeah.
So like all coffee is the same, just like all bananas are the same. And I think we're now getting to the point where people are like, okay, hold on a second. Maybe not all bananas are grown equally. Maybe not all coffee is grown equally.
Right.
Like there's some not all chickens and cows are raised the same ways.
Well, I think it's because we have the ability to find things
To
out.
research TikTok.
Before is like coffee in a store, you just got coffee. You didn't think.
Ryder came to me were you here? And he was like, TikTok is like the best source of information. Like it's never wrong. And I had to, there is a lot of interesting things people learn on TikTok, but there's also there's a lot of misinformation there as well.
Yeah. TikTok you can get some really interesting facts, but
it depends.
Do you trust everything you see on TikTok?
My big thing is I usually learn something and then I go Google it.
So do I.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, this is only true in this one state.
Right. I try not to get caught. Like I got caught the other day with my wife, and I found this beautiful thing about this lady who had dementia, and her kids were teaching her all these things, and she started crying and stuff. And I'm like, this is really beautiful. She's like, the whole thing's fake. What?
No, I didn't.
No, I do. That's horrible. Why would they do that?
Oh, that's upsetting.
All right. Next thing.
I wanted to talk about mindfulness because this was our blog this week, and it was talking about your morning coffee and like being mindful about your coffee. And it was really talking about being mindful about what type of coffee you get and like having intention behind drinking your coffee of like, is this coffee, is this going to hurt me? Like, is this sourced well? Is it organic? Am I grinding it the right way? But it made me think of during COVID, my big thing was having like my morning, I got up, I got some hot water brewing, and then or boiling, and then I would do my pour over. And the whole process would take probably 10 minutes. And during that time, I'd have my like daily devotional I was listening to. And that was my mindfulness time. And I think it's interesting because I think coffee can be a great tool for being intentional and mindful. Because I also went back to like college, and that's where a lot of my first meetings with like my discipler or having like great times talking with people happened over coffee or at a coffee shop.
Right.
So I just think it was an interesting blog, and my mind took it and ran kind of in a different direction. But it made me think of how coffee, and yes, our coffee is great. We have quality ingredients. We teach you the best way to do it with the pour over, but also just coffee as a genre.
You want the definition?
How useful it is. Yes.
It's the quality or state of being conscious or aware of something. A mental state achieved by focusing on one's awareness on the present moment. So, like you were saying on the blog, which was interesting, is like they were saying, don't just drink your coffee. It's a good blog. You got to go to rahmroast.com.
Like and subscribe.
Right below. You know that she's not going to put those things up, and it's going to be a video of just this. You know it's going to happen.
Clayton, I'm stealing this from you because you did this in a blooper clip. So now this is my new, this, and then like and subscribe. Yeah.
But it says is take time, like, you know, like take those moments and breathe. And so, I mean, when I was going to church, and when I don't go, I haven't found a really good church yet. I do find some here, but every morning I have my Bible app, and it would come up every morning because there's something about the morning.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, you're done.
No, I know.
But in the morning, you can take that moment and breathe and listen to something. Even like when you drive, have you ever noticed like sometimes when you put on a podcast or something, that's when you kind of pull in most of it?
Yeah. I feel like there's something to do. This is an interesting thing, but being able to use so many of your senses at one time helps you really be present. And I think coffee does a good job of that.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Because if you think about it, when you brew it, you get the smell. You get the feel of like ground coffee or coffee beans as you have to go grind it. You get the view of it. You get the taste of it. You're getting all these senses.
Right.
And it helps you really be in the present and like think about your present time. I just had that realization. But
right. It's like drinking coffee. It's not just drinking it. It's
a whole experience.
It's like holding the cup and feeling the warmth.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? Like people say like in the morning when you just get up and it's chilly or something, you hold that cup.
And how can you better feel the warmth of coffee other than with our Rahm Roast, our brand new Rahm Roast mugs?
It just holds the heat so nice. Like it doesn't get really hot on the outside. You know what I mean? That was really good segue to sell this.
I was told by somebody very close in my life this week that I didn't have great marketing skills. And I want to just say...
Marketing genius, right here. Marketing genius. You put it up here, Duquesne cook.
And just
marketing
like a flash. I don't force it at all very natural.
But you know what is nice about these cups is that it's the wideness of these cups. Instead of this narrow, they just have it, plus the logo is just perfect.
Yeah. They did turn out great, and they are live on our website, and we are very proud of them. Hey, the frothers are on their way. We got the shipping tracking for them.
So we have cups, we have frothers, and we have coffee. What else do you ask for?
I think our next thing we were going to go is we were going to look at maybe getting some brewing, like coffee brewing utensils or things to help, and then we kind of have our website built out.
I would love to do. We should think about which would be fun. We should do a live,
like Instagram live,
brewing the coffee.
Oh yeah,
like just here brewing it.
Oh, and we should do that. We could brew different ways too, because that's always a question I get. Is that like
French?
Yeah,
pour over.
Well, because I really went through. I got a comment today that would say I'm using Rahm Roast in my Keurig, and it's not turning out the best way. It's not turning out how you all describe it.
Because we don't really describe it. We say this is the last choice option.
Yeah, we haven't really. We've told people you can use the reusable cups in a Keurig. It's definitely not the way it's meant to be brewed.
No.
It also doesn't. Am I allowed to talk bad about a
brand?
Yeah.
Well, you could just say a German name company.
Right?
German name?
My personal taste that I like in coffee.
There you go.
Is not shown the best way through that quick version of making coffee. I really think...
But you do understand that sometimes it's kind of difficult in the morning.
I know.
To make the coffee.
So I will say if you get a normal... So Rahm Roast was made as a filter coffee brand. So that's why pour over works the best. But it does work well if you have a coffee pot that's automatic that is using a filter. So that could be people's solution.
But that is true too, because coffee,
you wake up and it's brewed.
It's still a drip over.
Yeah. Who was showing me? I was watching a video and I didn't know this. It was talking about. Were you telling me this? The surface level of how you're brewing your coffee has a huge impact.
Yes. On
how it turns out. Did you send me that video?
We've talked about it.
Okay.
Where you have a pad, and the pad keeps your water. The coffee at a certain level, that one?
No, it was talking about how and I'm going to have to go find this video and we can talk. This might be the topic next time, but it was talking about comparing the different brewing methods of coffee and how to get the best taste out of them. A lot of it has to do with the surface level of coffee grinds in the water. And I can't remember the correlation, so I'm not going to say anything until I find that article again. But it had something to do with the surface level of the coffee grinds with the water ratio has an impact on how the coffee comes out.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Yeah, but it compared espresso to French press to pour over. And it was a really interesting article. And it was basically making an argument for which one they thought was best, which was espresso. They were arguing for espresso, but it was just an interesting...
Well, espresso, there is a really good point and reason for it. It's because of the way that you don't want to push too hard. You want to you don't want to compress it. You want the water pressurize it. There's a reason for it.
Yeah,
it might have been when we talked to the gentleman that came in.
Maybe that was it actually.
Yeah, because he was very intricate.
Yeah,
when it comes to coffee. So
it's great learning. Out of my friends, I know a lot of coffee, but I've loved getting into the coffee industry more and just realizing how much knowledge is out there. One of those things, as a history teacher, I reached this. When I started taking history classes and becoming a history teacher, I realized how much I didn't know about history.
Watch this. Keep going.
And so that really, I passed this level of I know all this about history. And then once I got into it more, I was I'm just scratching the surface. There's so much I don't know. And now I'm getting into that with coffee, where I thought for a while, I was the coffee guy. And people in the office even say that. And all I've realized is how much I don't know about coffee. The more I've learned, the more I realize.
Yeah, but you know more about coffee than the rest of us.
Yes.
So it's
But it almost walking into that sphere or that area just opens up how much you don't know. And otherwise, you don't know that you don't know it. It's a weird. You don't know that you don't know what you don't know.
But you don't know. What you don't know. Well, but I think you are the main coffee guy. I think you always. I love the computer here because I can just
Research
facts.
stuff.
I was trying to find out when actually coffee was first created and invented.
I mean,
brought up that fact of
with the history. I mean, it used to be.
Wasn't it the Mayans? No, that was chocolate.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it was huge though in like Middle East countries, and especially some of the empires of like the Arabian countries, and it was a big in African countries too, and it was very big in them doing.
I just imagine how bad it was.
Well, some might say it was even better though because there was less stuff to ruin it. Like there weren't as many outside.
Yeah, but I feel like
we've come so far with like how to brew coffee.
Right,
like, do you think the first people were just like throwing entire coffee beans? I mean, they were probably eating coffee beans.
Well, why not? Right.
That's how it probably first. And they realized they were getting this jolt of energy, and then someone was like, "Let's turn it into a drink." And they probably were just soaking entire coffee beans in it. I should know this since I'm coffee in history.
Yeah, but because where did when they did, like you said, they had to realize you don't grind it first.
Yeah. Do you know potatoes aren't from Ireland?
What?
No, potatoes aren't from Ireland. Like everyone says Ireland is the potato country.
Aren't they from
like
Idaho?
Well, no, they are grown in Idaho, but they're from like Middle America, Central America, South America.
I did not know that.
And so like everyone's like Ireland's the potato country.
Well,
it's
not really from Italy either.
Where's it from?
China. It's a Chinese noodle that the Italians took and created a sauce over.
There's a lot of interesting.
Now we're like way out.
Are we at our time? I think there's like 20 different clips we can take out of this.
Are we at our time?
Are we going to start posting these on YouTube? Or what are we gonna try to do with these?
They weren't there on YouTube.
Yeah, but underneath like a Rahm Roast.
We need to go. Well, that would be great if we could find out.
Or put it on like a Spotify.
This is what so we're going to do a small clip here. I would like anybody in the comments down below.
Like and subscribe.
No.
No. Sorry.
We're not liking and subscribing yet.
I was told I was funnier than Dylan in The Office last week. I probably have told this story 3 times. It was a big moment for me.
Dylan's like, you ever watch those 2 guys that sit on the dad jokes?
Yeah.
The guy with the mustache?
Yeah.
That's Dylan.
Yeah, that's
true.
He
just tells the jokes, straight face.
Yeah.
Dylan. There's a picture of Dylan right here. Right there. That's Dylan.
Hopefully it's this. He has a smile while he does his thumbs up and he's like.
A weird smile?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always say, you don't smile like that. Yeah, you do. I've seen you laugh. Okay, what was I talking about?
We're going to make a short clip.
Yeah, I say, so this clip, I would love it if down below people would ask questions that they'd like us to answer. So you guys tell us what you want us to answer. Coffee related or, I don't know, we're at comic book.
Life.
Let's just talk about life now.
Coffee, life, history. I can give some great history stories. We'll talk about the emu.
Yeah, he's really good at history. I mean.
The emu wars.
The animal?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Rest up. There was an entire war against emus. The birds. They won. I'll tell it later.
Wow, that's the kind of thing I want to get a fresh cup of coffee and listen to that story because that story is going to be fascinating.
Coffee and history.
So let's go back.
Q&A.
So the clip Q&A. Tell us what you want us to talk about. That includes all of his friends or people that I know. If you have a question about that you want him to answer about himself or
Marty.
A question about me, go ahead. Like people don't know that I was a stand-up comedian for a while. What don't they know about you?
It might be that I was a history teacher. I feel like I don't go into that.
Right.
I've lived in rugby. I don't know if I've talked about rugby much here.
Talk about that.
Maybe. I was a all-conference rugby player.
We both don't have any cartilage in our knees.
No.
So that's something.
And maybe we'll pick one of the people that ask a question and we'll send them a mug.
Yeah. We'll send you a mug. We'll send you one of these.
You have to be following us though.
Mugs.
You have to be following us and we'll pick one of you all to get a mug.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a great idea. So that's kind of the end here, right?
Yeah.
So we can call it a day here. And then, like I said, if you give us the questions, we'll answer them. That'll be our next episodes. So have a great night, day, wherever you're from.
And keep the trouble brewing.
Oh, dude, really? Really? You gotta like and subscribe now. Holy crap. Oops, sorry.
Bye, y'all.